I'm going to give it 3.5 pawns.
I would do 4 and 1 drunken.
Wow, 4.
Yes.
4.5.
Yeah.
5 pawns. 5 pawns. This is a golden pawn game. Welcome to the Drunken Pawn. This is Stephen, Maurice, and there's Basile. And behind the camera, we have Theresa. All right, we're going to review this guy. It is dice. I'm going to show this off again. There it is.
Just rolls into it. Just a rolling act.
Roll.
I love it. That's great.
So, Basile won the game in the playthrough. Go ahead and check that out.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, as always. Again, I don't know why we even ask him on the show.
I'm going to have a question for him after his whole thing, though. But it's just an FYI.
Okay.
Well, Basile, you won. Start the review. Go.
All right. It was great.
All right, that's all the time. That's all the time you get. And continuing.
I love the artwork. Love the idea. Especially with these dice. It's very cool that you can kind of make your own game, more or less. Like you can decide what kind of avenue you want to take, and there are plenty of them. And just the mechanics of it as well. Just being able to pop those guys on and off, and it's all very cool. I enjoyed it very much.
Maurice, what do you think?
Screwing with Greek mythology aside, I think the one thing I'll contribute is that I enjoy the mechanism that they employed for scarcity in terms of limiting the number of these that you can have and are there, and like as they go away. I'm not used to many games like as these options go away, it truly visually is gone, and now there's just a clear pool there. I thought that was very clever, and how they orchestrate the balance of if you kick someone off a thing, they get to roll. If you do this one action over there, it affects somebody some other way. They just employed so many different tiny little game mechanics that balance it out, and I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like, the balancing of this game is like professional. Like they're like I think I said it in the playthrough. Like this game is like super well done. Like they really thought out. Like every card, every little face you get for your die, how you score, and everything is just very well thought out. The artwork is really fun. It's cartoony and whimsical, so it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is great because that works for the game. And it is visually very, very, very pretty. They could have probably done a little more with the pawns, but I ain't gonna rag on too much on that. I love that there is a card, which is this one, that you can play basically a mini game within the game. That is something new and fun. I didn't do that, but Basile actually did that during the playthrough, and it's super cool that they were able to somehow incorporate basically a mini game within the board game. That's awesome.
And they made this cool little piece here that tells you which side. They thought of everything.
You can go through it twice, get more points each time. It's great. That's awesome. I love that. The only problems we really had with it was trying to get these out sometimes was kind of a pain. And they were flying everywhere. But, you can extend, as you can see here, Basile extended his resource track. Like I had a great time playing it. But yeah, so pawn wise, Basile, what are you gonna give it?
That's rough. I think I'll do 4.5.
Okay.
And the only reason is if they're going with the whole, what is this, Mount Olympus?
Greek mythology.
It's mythology. Yeah.
I feel like they maybe could have done a little more with that. Just, I don't know, maybe just a little bit more story aspect to it.
Interesting.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, interesting.
If these were more like actual heroes from
Yeah, or like, you know, like even just a little bit of wording on the cards, maybe. Like, this is what
flavor?
this is.
Like
or,
where it
you
came
know,
from, more
Yeah.
flavor of the mythology.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's interesting.
I think I would have
You know what?
appreciated that more.
They have a lot of space on the back of the card they could have made. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I see. I see what you're...
As it is, it kind of makes me think that it's supposed to be like a gem mining game. So, like, dwarves.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even the name, Dice Forge, could absolutely
every time
be
you
like
put
a dwarf thing.
Put forge in something, you're like...
So, like, each of these could have been caves.
Yeah, and this, like, you know, the fact that it's Sunstone and Moonstone, and I'm unfamiliar with that being referenced very heavily in Greek mythology.
No.
They did... I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, do they have Hephaestus' hammer? You know, I'm going to assume that's Pandora's box. Kind of a reference. You know, golden fawns, that sort of thing. Cyclopes, Hydras, Cancer. I don't think anybody punched a giant stone crab.
Well, if you watch Clash of the Titans, the new one,
yeah,
he fights a giant lobster or
Is it
scorpion.
Stone?
Spoilers.
Oh. Anyway.
A Greek mythology,
I see what
hundreds,
you're saying.
thousands of years old.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But yeah,
So, what do you think in terms of pawns, Mo?
I am actually going to give this. There's a part of me that does want to be stringent like Basile was in terms of like, it's Mount Olympus, go fight on these floating islands. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But I think as far as gameplay goes, for 10 and up, for the category of kind of older children to full blown adults, I'm giving this thing a 5.
dang.
I honestly think that this has such a fun playthrough. I wish I could give you another rating 3 weeks from now when I play this with other people. But
It's always a little bit more fun when we're playing with each other.
it is. Well, and the other thing is, like, some games don't repeat well.
That's true. They don't. That's a
That
good
is
point.
true.
This
Whereas-
definitely has a lot of replayability.
This
I
has
think it does.
replayability, and these cards, so we didn't touch on this, but there's actually basic cards, as shown by a tiny blue dot, and then there's more advanced cards, which are like the boat, which do really weird things.
Which I got to use several times during the playthrough, which I really enjoyed that card.
Yeah, so there are advanced cards that you can replace and choose randomly what goes in here. So
Yeah, there's a lot of replayability on that.
I'm sticking with 5.
Dang.
Cool.
Very nice.
So I was very on the fence about it, and hearing both of them now, I am going to give it. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5. Not that full 5, because there is something. I think Basile touched on it pretty well about the whole mythology aspect. There could have been a little bit more of that. I did have a great time playing this, but it didn't like blow my mind like a 5 pawn game would.
That's fair.
Okay. But I did have a fantastic time playing it. 4.5 is almost nearly perfect. Would you get 4.5?
I got a 5, yeah.
4.5. Like, this is a nearly golden pawn status game, and I will back that up any day of the week, because I'm sure we'll go back to this multiple times. Just playing, on our normal
I would
days.
100% play this again.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And you could try different strategies every time.
Yep.
You notice that they didn't even use any of these tiles at all,
Yeah.
which mirror one of your opponent's tiles.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Which is cool. There's a lot
Yeah.
of cool things that you could.
Or one of your opponent's die faces.
Yeah.
So you can mirror them instead, which is kind of cool because it makes it so that you can pick almost exactly what you want
Yeah.
based off of the rolls. So
Which is
I'm
cool.
surprised that you guys didn't use any of those. But
Well, there's so much to do.
I got caught up on the moon track, and as soon as I started to like ramp up on this phase, I stopped paying attention over here, and it just behooved me to not.
Yeah.
Although, whatever. After this ends, I do have a question for Basile.
Okay, well, go ahead and ask your question, because
My question is did you intentionally employ any strategy in this game to win?
I knew that eventually the gold was going to be kind of worthless unless, because either the things that I want are going to be gone, or, I'm just not going to have the space for anything new, that wouldn't really be a waste of time at that late in the game.
Yeah.
So, like I said about essentially getting as much, material as I could, and then focusing on the points. That's
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, based off of your first playthrough, you guys topped out in gold a lot,
Mhm.
like
A
really
lot.
early,
Very.
really
yeah.
early on. So all of those die faces, I'm not sure how many you start with that are gold related when you first start the
Most
game.
of them.
But you top out in gold pretty early on, so
Mm-hmm.
that was probably a good strategy to just say, I'm not dealing in gold anymore, I just want to deal in resources.
I would like to say that me and Maurice actually tied in points, and we weren't too far behind.
Yeah.
Basically.
I was
We were-
95. You were 92.
We were both 92. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it was a tight game, and that's not normally the case.
They also says
Usually I'm
too
way behind.
that your heroic cards or whatever are supposed to be counted second, and I think that is on purpose so that not everybody knows how many hero points you have until the end.
Oh, I
So-
see.
What's a heroic
now-
card?
These guys.
Yeah.
So,
So
not
you're-
to count these points until the
Oh.
end.
So
Of
you
the
just stack them, and then and you don't have to
Then
keep them. You know, it's
So
not a
there's
secret
mystery.
but it's kind of a mystery because then you have to be keeping tallies of everybody's points. So
Oh.
So that's how, and it would be less for you to count as you go on. So that I think is why they say to count those second, so that not everybody has a running tally of how many points you have, and they wouldn't be like, well, this person has 4 points ahead of me, I'm just going to get 5, so that I can beat them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
Yeah, I can
you're
see
a little
that.
bit more blind in your decision making.
Yeah, so you could really play it either way, but yeah,
Sure.
that would be probably better strategically, you know.
Yep.
Just like,
But yeah, so this is nearly a Golden Pond game,
Yeah.
very nearly. I mean, it only missed the mark by just a smidge, you know. So go out, buy this game, play it with all your friends,
For sure.
enjoy it because it's great.
May I add the caveat that this looks like an $80 game. I think I got this for $45-$46.
Yeah, it's not
So
super
it's
expensive.
not outrageous
Yeah.
for
The
all
fun.
that you get.
And it's a
Everything,
big game. It's
yeah.
a big game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
imposing.
Lots of pieces.
It's great, but not imposing in the way that like you're like I don't want to play this. This is too much.
Mhm.
It's like okay,
Re-
we figured it out and we played it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
relatively simple to pick up
Yeah.
and get going. So
not- there was a little bit of playing and like trying to figure out
yeah,
rules
and
and stuff.
things you need that. Don't lose that booklet that tells you how these cards work.
Yeah, gotta have that booklet.
Yep, it will not. It's not self-evident.
Oh,
But if you guys want to, anything else you want to say about the game before we go?
solid.
Solid,
Yeah.
great game. So we'll see you next time. Make sure you forge that subscribe button if you like what you saw today. Also hit the like button, comment, hit the little bell. We have a new episode every week. I would like to say too, we are going to be at Origins Game Fair this year, 2021.
You could
So-
come and tap our buttons and things.
Well, no, it's a magic trick.
Oh, don't.
Don't tell
Look
them
at
what
us.
the magic trick is.
Okay.
Then you'll
The
get a
magician never
prize.
reveals, but you get a prize if you let us
Participate.
participate. Yeah. Also,
Maybe
we
they
got
can
some.
play What's in the Stein with us. We're gonna hide spooky spiders in here.
Maybe.
nightmare.
A brown recluse.
Or those pop-out snakes.
It's not gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
It won't be that.
Okay.
Just don't be afraid to come up to us.
Be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Be prepared.
Face shield. Baton.
But also we have some special episodes coming up too for Oktoberfest because that's coming up real soon, real soon. So keep an eye out for those.
It'll be fun.
That's gonna be super fun. But yeah, I think that'll do it for us here on the Drunken Pond, the review portion. Drunken Pond. We hope to see you here at the table.